Women's history is indivisible from American history, all the way back to 1776, when future First Lady Abigail Adams wrote to her husband John, urging the Continental Congress to remember the ladies, and warning if they didn't, we are determined to foment a rebellion. And they did. From the Seneca Falls Convention in 1848 to the early 20th century street demonstrations. Jeannette Rankin, the first woman elected to Congress in 1916, 4 years before women even won the right to vote. We've never had a lack of trailblazers paving the way to freedom, to new heights, even to outer space. But we've always had to raise our voices and lift our hands to demand autonomy, equity, equality.
It's going to be a very long process. Certainly it's going to take many more generations. But I hope that we budged it a little bit.
Like any journey, it's been marked by progress and setbacks. The defeat of the Equal Rights Amendment, still unequal pay, and the ever-present scourge of sexual harassment. And yet, there is always hope.
So help me God.
Most recently witnessed in the wisdom of the 6th inaugural poet, Amanda Gorman.
We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be.
It was beautiful to see that.
Elizabeth Alexander was the 4th inaugural poet in 2009.
I've known her for a few years and have given her a bit of advice from time to time. It is supremely satisfying to watch young people shine and know that maybe you helped make that a little bit possible.
That intersection of our past and present is now Alexander's focus.
The world we walk around in tells us who we are.
Leading a mission to reimagine our monuments as the head of the Mellon Foundation.
What is the part of American women's history that you want to tell, that you want to reimagine?
I want to start with the sheer disproportion, the lack of representation of the stories and contributions of women in American life. In New York City, there are 150 public historic statues. 6 of them are of women. In Philadelphia, 1,500 public statues. 2 of them are of women.
If we look at our landscape today, we have a woman vice president, a woman speaker of the House. There are women CEOs, women Supreme Court justices. So what is it going to take? Is it equal pay? What is it that says women have finally arrived and are equal?
I think that we have representation in all of those arenas that we named. But in very few of those arenas, I would venture to say none of those arenas, is there predominant female leadership.
Women make up the majority of Americans and still remain in the minority of leaders, from big business to state houses.
I think it's important to name the inequities so that we know what the challenges are and we don't let up. I don't think there's a moment of arrival because I think arrival creates complacency. All of those questions of what does it mean to live in a world that's as fair as you can make it are lifetime questions, I believe.
Now, since we sat down with Elizabeth Alexander, we have some good news to report. There has been a 7th statue of a woman unveiled here in New York City, Ruth Bader.
And this is a mighty movement of women.
Women's history is indivisible from American history, all the way back to 1776, when future First Lady Abigail Adams
Top of the morning to ya. Somebody said there was a celebration of St. Patrick's, so I decided to show up in all of my regalia. It is so wonderful to see all of you. Take just a moment, if you would, receive a deep breath. And give it back. Look at your neighbor and send your neighbor a smile. And tell them, neighbor, Come on, y'all can do better than that. Neighbor, you are welcome here in this moment. All right, all right. Well, if this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our paths when we just want to be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I'll only do this by living in the moment, living my life, yeah, easy and breezy, peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home by living in the moment. Yeah, I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can be the same for all of y'all. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the ones who always remind me to live in the moment. Yeah, living my life. Come on, put those hands together. Easy and breezy, peace in my mind. Well, I got peace in my heart, oh, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Listen, well, I can't walk through life facing backwards. I've tried more than once to just be sure that I've been denied the future I've been searching for. I spun around and hurt no more, but live in the moment, living my life, easy and breezy, easy and breezy, y'all, peace in my mind. Well, I got peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Come on, stand up, sing with me. By living in the moment, I'm living my life, easy and breezy, easy and breezy. Oh yeah, peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, peace in my soul, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm already home. Yeah, yeah, by living in the moment. Oh, I'm living my life. Yeah, it's easy and breezy, peace in my mind. Well, I got peace in my heart, got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home by living in the moment. Yeah. All right, all right, all right. I'm choosing to live in the moment. And at this moment, my name is Reverend John Scott. And it's my honor to be spiritual leader here along with all of you, because you're not off the hook. You're all spiritual leaders. Bump your neighbor and say, he's talking to you. He's talking to you. And I want to say thank you for being a part of this community today. Thank you for being here to celebrate this beautiful day. It is wonderful to be alive, isn't it? fully expanding into our truly authentic, essential, and powerful selves. Our divine beings coming to the forefront. That's what we're here to do, is to remind you of who you are. That's it. We're not trying to tell you what to do or how to do. We're just here to remind you of the powerful being that you are. And I'm just doing the work of always shining the mirror so that when you look at me, you just see you. Yeah. And that's how powerful you are. If you have your cell phones with you and you don't mind silencing those cell phones, that would be awesome at this time. Also want to say that we do have 3 different opportunities on Sundays. 9 o'clock is our chapel, more devotional contemplation service. And that's in the chapel, especially on days like today when Florida can't decide what weather it's going to be. At 10:30, we have our meditation in the chapel. At 11 o'clock, we have our celebration service right here in this main auditorium. And that's where you're at right now. If you are with us for the very first time, I'm going to ask the ushers to come forward. And if you're with us for the very first time and you feel comfortable slipping your hand up, just slip your hand up. Let us know that you're here for the first time. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. We want to bring you. Yeah, let's hear it. We want to bring you a Get Acquainted card so that you can fill that out if you don't mind, and pass that at the back. There's a desk at the back, someone there to greet you. We also have a gift for you, okay? And so we want to tell you thank you for being with us today. I'm going to ask you to do this real quick. Stand back up. Find somebody that you have not spoken to yet today. Elbow bump them, high five them, hug their neck. Tell them you're glad to see them here. Share some love in the room, y'all. Yeah. And those who are joining us online, we're sending you some love as well. We thank you for being with us and a part of this community. Isn't it lovely? Beautiful. Beautiful. I love the love. Now let's do something real quick, if you would. Everybody group hug. For me and for those who are joining us online, we send you love and we send you our hugs right now. We tell you that we love you. We honor you for the magnificent beings you are. And I'm going to ask you now if you will direct your attention toward our screens for this wonderful video.
On the 9th of October 2012, the Taliban shot me on the left side of my forehead. They thought that the bullet would silence us, but they failed.
I did everything in my power to be a good student. I dreamed of one day going to one of the best universities in America. But despite my efforts, there were still people in my life who told me that I was setting my sights too high, that a girl like me couldn't get into an elite university.
My identity is challenged, and my actions are heavily scrutinized. I am simultaneously silenced into shame while being expected to apologize for the actions of a small group of people. We all have a responsibility to challenge a growing culture of ignorance rather than justifying xenophobia and prejudice under the veil of free speech.
It is okay to be scared. It is okay to cry. Everything is okay, but giving up should not be an option. They always say that failure is not an option. Failure should be an option, because when you fail, you get up, and then you fail, and then you get up, and that keeps you going.
You know what it's like when a family struggles to make ends meet. You know what it's like to be overlooked and underestimated because of who you are or what you believe in or where you come from. And the world needs more girls like you. And the world needs more girls like you growing up to lead our parliaments and our boardrooms and our courtrooms and our universities. We need you. We need people like you tackling the pressing problems we face: climate change and poverty, violent extremism, disease.
We have this thing in minds. We call it perfection. We want everything perfect. We want ourselves to be perfect. There is this image in our head about everything. Perfect life, perfect relationships, perfect career, perfect amount of money that we need to earn no matter what. Nothing is perfect in this world. We all are perfectly imperfect, and that is perfectly all right.
You might never fail on the scale I did, but some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default.
Weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born.
I've been thinking about time and where does it go? How can I stop my life from passing me by? I don't know. Well, I've been thinking about family. Now it's going so fast. Well, I wake up one morning just wishing that I could go back. Well, I've been thinking about maybe I can make a change and it could change me. So with all of my heart, this is my prayer. Singing, ooh, Lord, keep me in the moment. Help me live with my eyes wide open. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. Singing, ooh, Lord, show me what matters. Throw away what I'm chasing after. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. Keep me in the moment. Oh, keep me in the moment. Keep me in the moment. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. When I wake up in the morning, Lord, search my heart. Don't let me stray. I just want to stay where you are. All I got is a one shot, one try, or one go around in this beautiful life. And nothing is wasted when everything's placed in your love. Singing, oh Lord, keep me in the moment. Help me live with my eyes wide open. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. Singing, oh Lord, show me what matters. Throw away what I'm chasing after. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. Keep me in the moment. Oh, keep me in the moment. Keep me in the moment. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. I've been thinking about presents and the promise you hold. But here in your love, I am home. Singing, ooh, Lord, keep me in the moment. Help me live with my eyes wide open. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. Singing, ooh, Lord, show me what matters. Throw away what I'm chasing after. 'Cause I don't want to miss what you have for me. Keep me in the moment. Oh, keep me in the moment. Keep me in the moment. 'Cause I don't want to miss
Yeah. Woo. How do you feel in this moment? Right now. Right now. So one of the things that we love around here is our children's program called Yes. It's Youth Expressing Spirit. So Miss Naomi, if you would, I'm going to ask you to come on down. Any children in the house? Do we have any children in the house yet? Are they still hung over from St. Patrick's? Oh, no. I mean, any children in the house? All right. So we're going to bless, yes, we're going to bless our children as we continue to grow that program. Also, I'm encouraging everyone to consider being a part of helping to fundraise for fixing and prepping our playground for our children. They need a place to pray and play, right? All right. So I'm going to ask you to consider that today. We already had one offering today. I want to say thank you for that. And we'll definitely get that to our accounting. I'm going to ask you to stretch your hands this way, and to our children also joining online. We see you for the magnificent beings you are. We call you blessed. We call you prosperous. And we call you safe. May your imagination continue to grow. And may you continue to flow in your divine self. And so it is. All right, let's give them a blessing, y'all. All right. Yes. I'm going to invite our First Unity singing leprechauns to return.
a moment like this, finding a home like this, finding a community like this, being in a moment like this, full of love, full of warmth, where you can take your shoes off.
All right. Come on, because they start hurting.
Right. We're getting ready to go into our sacred centering. And our song for the sacred centering is the forgiveness song. So in this moment, if there's anyone you need to forgive or to accept forgiveness from, this is a moment.
If there's anyone from the past or present that I need to forgive, now I do so. I simply let go. I bless that, I love that, I forgive them, and I release them into your care. If there's anyone from the past or present that needs to forgive me, please do so. Simply let go and bless me and love me and forgive me and release me into your care. If there's anyone from the past or present that I need to forgive, now I do so. I simply let go. I bless that, I love that, I forgive them, and I release them into your
Now, to carry us further into this moment of sacred centering, I bring to you Dr. Aileen Carr.
And I came all the way from Ireland about 30 years ago. So I'm delighted to be here today. So as I guide you here, I always like to remind myself and remind you, many of us are immigrants. We've come from other countries. Raise your hand if you've come from another country. We've come from other states. We've come from other iterations in our lives. But one of the things we learn, we find out, is that peace only exists in this present moment. So I invite you now, as we include and acknowledge all prayer intentions from our prayer box, and during this sacred centering time, also would like to affirm and include all of the prayer intentions from our online community. And so now, as we settle here for the next 5 to 6 minutes, so making yourself as comfortable as you can, maybe wiggling your body a wee bit, maybe just moving from side to side, and just finding the most relaxed position for your body here in this moment. And if you feel safe to do so, knowing that I am your sentinel and your guide as I lead you through this meditation, just feel safe maybe to close your eyes and just take a few moments here to observe maybe what may be weighing heavy in your heart today. Maybe you're still holding on to feelings of unforgiveness towards yourself or others, or whatever it is that you may have brought with you still to this moment. No guilt or judgment, just simply observing whatever that may be. And just as you allow your body to settle here, meditate simply means to come back to the present moment. And so as we meditate together in this sacred centering space, we can use all of our energies, we can use all of our hearts here to envelop and to support us as we practice being here present. So I invite you now to take a few cleansing breaths together, inhaling through your nose, maybe drawing the energy all the way up your spine. And as you hold at the top of the breath, maybe exhaling out through your mouth or through your nose, just sighing it out and letting go. And then collectively taking another inhale breath here as we fill up. And then maybe holding at the top and exhaling, release and letting go. And one more time, collectively supporting one another as we create an audible sound with our exhale breath, filling up, maybe holding at the top, and then sighing out and letting it all go. And now coming into your own natural breath here. And if you haven't already done so, closing your eyes or keeping them at a soft gaze. And just noticing the beginning of your inhale breath, and maybe where the turnaround is for your exhale breath. And I'll be leaving some spaces of quiet so that each one of us can rest in our heart space, maybe pray in our own way to the God of our understanding, or maybe simply focus on practicing meditation breath by breath. So whatever it is that you need in this moment, continue and stay here. Noticing the rise and the fall of your breath. Maybe noticing the sounds outside of you, the music. noticing any sensations you may be feeling in your body. And if there are any thoughts that are coming up, just simply observe and allow them to pass through. Once you become the observer, or once you're aware of your breathing, you'll notice that your thinking begins to subside. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Life happens here in this present moment. This is life, breath by breath. And with each inhale breath, as you fill up, feeling the joy, the peace, the love, the abundance that is already here in this present moment. Noticing it's not success you need, but simply surrendering to the flow of energy in this present moment. And it's not control we need, but allowing life, allowing our breath to touch and move and change us exactly as we are in this present moment. Feeling the breath of the God of your understanding that you are moving through you, changing you, loving you, because you are love. You are that you seek outside yourself. It already is here within you. So taking the last few moments here to fill yourself up with this peace, serenity, this stillness. This is who you are. Tension is who the world tells us we should be, but this is who you are. This peace, this quiet, this serenity. Breathing this in and out here now. And checking in with your heart. And in these last few moments here, using this time to free the shackles that you may have attached to your heart, unforgiveness towards yourself or others. Just allow and let go. Allow the energy of this moment to free you and to breathe through you, to be exactly as you are in this moment. And so now, as we begin to bring our meditative time together here to a close, just keeping your eyes closed, but maybe just observing yourself coming back into your body, maybe wiggling your fingers, your toes. And as I came from Ireland some 30 years ago, I'd like to surround you with an Irish blessing as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And so if you'd like to open your heart to receive one of the most beloved Irish blessings, I will do it in Gaelic and in English. Until we meet again, Ganairi on Boher Lath, may the road always rise up to meet you. Go mé an ghé go brach the cool. May the winds be always at your back. Go lunri an green go te daig. May the sun always shine warm upon your face. Agus go dit an bháiste go bug bin the forkina. And may the rains always fall gently upon your fields. Agus go dí go múlamid le céile a ríist. And until we meet again, go gine dia slán hu I gart lár alive. May the God of your understanding always hold you safely in the palm of his and her hand. And just take these last few moments to feel yourself surrounded by this beautiful circle of love and protection that is all around you, that is always here in this present moment. That's what a blessing is. It makes sense of the past, creates a vision for the future, all in this present moment. And so now if you'd like to open your eyes and look around you and see all of us here together on this path that we call life, breath by breath, moment by moment. And thank you so much. I bow my head as I honor all of you. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaskar, Amidifo, Aho, Om. Everybody. Om. Ooh, that feels good. Do that again. Om. And I say, yummy. It's my high spiritual salutation. You know, it's interesting, a thread or sort of a theme today, forgiveness. Are you hearing it? Are you feeling it, though? I'm going to get to these notes. But something, as Stevie said, sure. Something's leading me here to a couple of stories because this pattern of forgiveness today, okay? Is everybody okay? I'm just going to share a couple of things that I feel like are sort of being downloaded right at this moment. I don't sort of feel like it. It is happening, so. There was a gentleman who was attempting to drink less. He was not an Irishman. He had been sober for a month or so, and his wife essentially had said, the drink or me. And it was one of those kind of situations. So he'd been sober for about a month, and so he was headed home from work, and he thought, you know, I've done this for a month. I think I would be okay with getting a pint with me brothers at the tavern. Just one, right? So he goes in, wanted to meet with them. You know, it was a meeting place, not just the drink, but it was a meeting place with all his friends. So he gets a pint, and one pint turns into 2 pints, and 2 pints turn into Jameson shots all the way around. And the next thing he knows, he is drunk. So he stumbles out of the place. He went in at 5:30. He stumbles out of the place at 2 o'clock in the morning, heads down the street toward home. And he gets to the house, and he walks up to the key hole, and he tries to put the key in the hole. And he goes, oh my God, who made this keyhole smaller? And he reaches forward, he thinks he has it, and he stumbles, and when he does, he bumps into the wall, falls then off the porch and down into the rose bush, scraping his face and his upper shoulder. He gets back up, and he gets inside as quietly as he can. His wife's asleep, and remember, she said, it's me or the drink. So he goes into the bathroom because he can already feel the blood kind of running down his face, so he looks in the mirror, and it's kind of fuzzy, but he begins to kind of clean himself up, and then he reaches for the Band-Aids, and he grabs the Band-Aids, and He goes then to bed as quietly as he can. Really early the next morning, he is awakened by ice water thrown all over him. And his wife has thrown a bucket of ice water. And she said, "That's it? You've been drinking, and I know you have." And he said, "No, I haven't. I haven't been drinking." She said, "Yes, you have." And she grabbed him. She said, "Come here, let me show you something." Walked him into the bathroom and pointed to the mirror. And there were Band-Aids on the mirror. He thought he was putting them on himself. What's my point? Many of us spend most of our life trying to fix the world outside of us. And we put Band-Aids on the mirror, and we hope we can fix other people. And the whole time the scratch was on your face. That's forgiveness. The best work I can do for you is to work on me. And the best work you can do for me is to work on you. And even higher than that is to let go and let the divine do all of the work. I always find it interesting when people say I'm self-helping. And I go, "Are you the self that needs help? How's that going?" Surrender and release and let it go. Forgiveness is to give in advance a pardon, deserved or not. I was having a conversation with William Paul Young, the author of the book, The Shaft. And he said to me, he said, "John," he said, "forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay." He said, "Forgiveness is taking your hands off of their throat." And I said, "Yeah, Paul. And you know the visual I just got?" And he said, "What's that?" I said, "You take your hands off of their throat so your hands are not too busy to gather in the blessings that are trying to come to you." What they did was not okay. That's not what you're saying. What you're saying is, I will not allow perpetual abuse in my life, and I'm releasing them so that I'm no longer incarcerated by remembering what I need to allow to stay dismembered. You cannot drive ahead looking in the rearview mirror. You look through the windshield, and that's why the windshield is bigger, so that you have a more clear view. One of the highest forms of spiritual practice is forgiveness. Because there's this realization that in some way we're all connected whether we like it or not. And these things that have transpired in our life, if we don't change the narrative will change us and will keep us bound and incarcerated. So I was sitting with a friend the other day. And she was telling me about her life, and I hadn't heard her life story. She's sharing with me what has transpired in her life, some of the things that are going on right now, and talking about the struggle, the financial struggle, and can't seem to get ahead, and working 3 jobs and still can't seem to get ahead, and it's just constantly this pull. It's like it just goes away. It comes to me, it just goes away. I'm 1 step forward and I'm 3 steps backward. You ever felt that way? And she said it's just a struggle, and she's walking through some of her life, and she calls her sister, and she says, "My sister, the thief." Well, I have to be honest. And if you're here today, I'm going to tell you that I apologize. But when you said, "My sister, the thief," the rest of the conversation was wah, 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 wah. I didn't hear much of anything else. For some reason, that jumped off of the page of your story, and I began to ruminate and meditate on that. My sister, the thief, my sister, the thief, my sister, the thief. And when she was through sharing about 20, 25 minutes, just sharing what was going on, because I do my best, especially when I'm meeting with someone, to really listen. I don't want to listen so that I can figure out what to say next. And that's one of the reasons that particular day it irritated me that the only thing I could hear was "my sister, the thief," because I really wanted to hear the rest. And so when she was done, there was kind of a break in things. I slowly moved into this. I said, "I heard you say, 'My sister, the thief.' And until you change her name, she, in many forms, will continue to steal from you." Let's try this. That's all I said. Let's try this. Let's, instead of looking at people taking from you, instead of seeing people as thieves, can you see yourself as a giver? And can you see what they took from you as an investment in the savings account of the universe? Because if you can shift that, it no longer was a loss to you, it was an investment. Right now it's infesting your soul, but if you made that investment, because time is a construct, if you will shift your narrative, you will see that you have been saving the whole time. Everything they took from you, you invested because you're a giver. And when you release them from their thievery, you release yourself from suffering behind the bars you thought they were behind because they were a robber. Now they become the best savings account you ever had. And the universe begins to repay you because you shifted the story. Some people say that's semantics, that doesn't work. Continue doing what you're doing. If it's working for you, baby, work it, work it. But I'm telling you, in that moment, I realized nobody has ever taken from me. I gave. And blessed are those who give. I don't know if this resonates with you, but I'll tell you this. It resonated with me that day because I realized she could take her life back. And all of the lack was landing in a narrative that was calling others thieves instead of calling herself an investor. All I'm saying for us today in this space and for me personally is this: I've chosen to change the narrative of my life. And as a result, I've chosen to take the pen back and write my own story. And guess what, y'all? It is lining up to be a bestseller. And until you decide to be the author of your own story, you know, it's kind of like I told people one time. I said I was actually on stage at Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, and I was singing next to Sam Tate. Well, Sam Tate is a #1 songwriting, platinum-selling artist as a writer. And I said, this is Sam Tate, and he invited me here tonight, and he had a record that went platinum. I said, I had a record too, and mine went aluminum. Until you start writing your own story, though, you're not going to be a bestseller. You'll just have a collection of books that you've written. Did you know when we came to the end of our session together, she gathered up her journal, because she journals and she writes, this lady I was talking with. And she looked at her journal and she started laughing, the coolest and most joyous laugh. It was the most beautiful laugh. And I was like, what are you laughing at? And she said, I don't even know who wrote this. And instantly, Kat, I said, because the person who wrote it is not the person sitting here now. You just had a born-again experience. You've just had a glorification experience. You have shifted your evolution. And now, baby, get ready for it to flow to you, all that you invested. And I said, by the way, the people who helped you invest, they don't owe you. The universe is going to owe you, and it's going to give back to you a higher level of interest than those people ever would. So release them so that the universe can release your blessings to you. That's for somebody in this room today. Whoever it's for, you can have that for free. It wasn't a part of the talk to start with. I refuse to walk around with unforgiveness. I absolutely refuse to. I refuse to continue to see people as villains in my life. And as a result of that, I've entered into a state of peace and a state of bliss. See, if we can do that as a collective right here first, there is nothing that can stop the momentum of this community if we will live that way. If we will stop holding each other a grudge against each other. If we will start allowing each other to grow. If we'll stop thinking that just because somebody said something that was offensive and I'm just going to hold it against them for the rest of their life. That's how churches break up. That's how spiritual communities break up. Because we get mad because somebody didn't speak to me today, or they didn't hug my neck, or why didn't they shake my hand? Well, you never know what was going on in their world. Release that stuff, folks. Release that stuff. Love lets you give the benefit of the doubt. You know why? Because you can't ever run out of the benefit. The benefit is you. You're a walking, talking example of the divine presence in the world. There's no lack. There's no limit. You're all power. You're all energy. Everything you'll ever need to fulfill your life already is. It's not something you're becoming. It's something that you are. I am the Christ, the Son of the living God. I am God in human form, and so are you. Get it and receive it and walk in it. It's the skirt. I told somebody earlier, at least I think I told Lisa earlier, I said, I normally wear a dress. Today I'm wearing a skirt. Now, what I had intended to talk about, and I'll move through this fairly quick because of time, is divine feminine, because we are in Women's Month. But the whole planetary structure has shifted toward a yin energy. Somebody say yin. You know about yin and yang, yang and yin. Yang is more of a force of acting and doing, and yin is more receptive and allowing and nurturing. And we're in a state of time in history. Thank God. Somebody say, thank God. Thank God. Where the divine feminine is coming to the forefront. There are two major energies that work in all of nature, and that's the yang and the yin. And when they work together in harmony, nature is in a harmonious and unified act of being. But I'm leaning today toward the divine feminine. There are 7 archetypes typically that are prevalent in our modern society around the divine feminine. There are 7 archetypes. And I'm going to list those right now as soon as the notes move. There's Stevie said, is it a go? It is a go. It is a go. There's 7 major archetypes: the mother, the maiden, the queen, the huntress, the mystic, and the lover. I've been finding myself getting more feminine. And I like it. Now, I'm kind of walking it backwards a little bit. And so if you go back up to that last one, I'm kind of walking it backwards a little bit because I'm feeling like a lover. I told you I've been accused of being the love guy. I'm finding myself in the midst of the mystic, the mystery. I haven't done the huntress thing yet or the queen yet. I'm going to have to talk to somebody about helping me with that one. The maiden and the mother, I'm going to let somebody else be that. But I feel this sense of lover and mystic that's really swirling within me. And I believe that when we connect with the divine feminine, when we surrender to the God presence, that feminine source that's within us, we become receptive and we start to allow that flow to move through to and as us and impregnate the womb of our being. The only difference between a man and a woman in our 3D world is that there is a man and then there's whoa man. Whoa man. See, the way I see the narrative of Genesis, Brian, is that, Adam goes to sleep, right? This is just for me, okay, and all you dudes who really appreciate women. Adam goes to sleep and he wakes up, and there standing in front of him is Eve. And that's how I think she got her name, because he said, whoa, man. Whoa. Okay, all right. That's enough corn for the day. But it's a man with a womb. And we're caught up in pronouns right now. Anybody know what I'm talking about? And transgender and here's what I think about transgender and all of the transformation we're experiencing as a planet, is that we are actually rising above any pronoun. We're starting to be pro-everyone, pro-everybody across the board. And one of the reasons you're seeing a shift in maybe what some people perceive as confusion is because it's not confusion. It's the earth itself is groaning in travail for the revelation of the children of God, the sons and the daughters of God, for people to rise up into a perfect harmony, to enter the dance, the divine dance of the natural flow of unity. To recognize our oneness, to start birthing forth from the inside of us a new concept of a new human race. Man, that's good stuff. So, although I honor men and women, I honor the feminine and the masculine. Folks, we are transcending into the beings of light we were intended to be from the very beginning. You're not limited to gay, straight, bi, or tri, because there's some folks trying and can't get enough. You're not limited to, there's medicine for that. You're not limited to all of the confining labels that we've allowed ourselves to be limited within. This is one of the reasons one of my favorite shirts that I wear says, love is love. Period. Love is love. Period. I don't have to list what all of the names are and the labels that we've given society. One of the reasons we've had societal prejudice, bias, and hatred is because we're so busy being confined to the definition of the human form instead of seeing the divine nature that's in everybody. And my brothers and sisters who are gay, lesbian, transgender have caught the brunt of that in our society over these last few years. And I want to say to you, gay, straight, bi, tri, whatever the identifying factor is in your life, you are welcome in this place. I see the divine being that you are, the beauty that you are for exactly who you are, beyond all of the other labels. How could we not? It's the divine presence that we're watching walk around here. My God, that's good news. Okay, I think I'm ready, Stevie. Stevie's like, hey, one day he's going to get to it. When we connect with the divine feminine, we surrender to the God presence, and within we begin to listen to our intuition and all that it has to say to us. And we start to work directly in tandem with source presence. And what I see it as is a divine dance. That's why I love the yin yang, the divine dance. They're swaying and moving and listening to the music of life. We start to embrace fully that meek and that gentle but powerful, strong quality of divine feminine. I agree. Today I want to focus just for a few moments on the gentle power that can move mountains. Somebody say move mountains. I want to focus on that gentle power that can move mountains and attract blessings into our life by setting intentions. That's the divine feminine. Everything around us works off of two major principles, as I've mentioned before, feminine and masculine, the yin and the yang. In this 3D world, they work together. They work together in harmony and in creativity. The divine feminine attracts and allows instead of pursuing and forcing or acting. The divine feminine allows and lures and then begins to transform reality through shifting the vibration and working with the divine. The divine feminine qualities nourish and allow and give growth and create and attract rather than act. Have you been feeling that lately? Let me say it to you this way. You won't have to announce yourself or advertise yourself anymore. When you move into the divine feminine, you attract all of the blessings to you. You won't have to put up a billboard. Nothing wrong with billboards, but that receptive principle allures and attracts into your environment everything you have ever needed to fulfill your purpose in this life. So number one, divine feminine is everywhere, like it or not. Just like the divine masculine, divine feminine is ever present and it's found in everything. It's an integral part of everything. Ladies who possess the majority of this, and by the way, your divine feminine is not connected to estrogen. It's just not. Just like your divine masculine is not connected to testosterone. You know, side note. It's called testosterone. Hasn't that been tested on society long enough? Just wondering. I was asking for a friend. I'm not reducing the value, but I'm saying, because look, I grew up in a dominantly misogynistic home. Welcome to my world. For some reason, in evangelicalism, the idea is that God is the father. Don't call God mother. God is the father. God's the man. Man up and do God's work, man. And my mother, God bless her, I love my mother. She's such a smart, intelligent human being. Man, she raised all of us up, and then she went back to school, got her RN, and then got her master RN, and went back to work after 50 years old because she'd always dreamed of being a nurse. Powerful woman, but always would always surrender whatever the decision was to my dad because men are the head of the house. My dad even had this joke where he'd say, I'm the head of my house. My wife's the neck that turns it, but I'm the head of my house. And they played this part, and it's worked for them. It's whatever works for them. When I first started shifting in my way of seeing the world, I wanted to change them, and then I realized they need to be who they are. But I grew up in this world where I even heard my mother say, no, women should not be in leadership. They're too emotional. Have you seen the men in leadership? Only every war that has ever been in the history of humanity was started by some dudes. And I remember thinking as a kid, is that the way it is? Because my dad's pretty emotional. He throws things. Every cuss word I ever learned from him. And he's Pentecostal. I don't think those were tongues. Mickey, the first time I cussed, my dad said, "Boy, where'd you hear that word?" And I said, "You?" I don't cuss. To this day, he says he doesn't cuss. Women are too emotional to lead. No. The time has come, and it's really high time for women to lead. I got to be honest with you. When I was first reached out to about being here as a spiritual leader, the first thing that came to my mind, Wanda, and I told you this, was, okay, there's two things. Yeah, I mean, I'm a middle-aged, white, straight male. Are you sure? That's kind of... I told Carrie, I said, I don't know. I don't understand why. We're progressing in the world. And she said, well, baby. Because when she's going to drop a truth bomb, she starts it with, well, baby. Maybe they are a community that's beyond label. And they sense that you are too. And so I went ahead and filled the application out. I said, oh, okay, fill the application out. Because now, then I get here and find out that there are a lot of us who are pretty attached to our New Thought label, Unity label, Centers for Spiritual Living label, this label and that label. We all have some labels we're still attached to. But I'm telling you, the time has come. The womb of the universe is open. And that's how we're birthing a new human prototype into the galaxy. We are in upgrade, and that's why you can feel even the earth is the universe is correcting itself, and we're here for that. We're having the time of our life. I'm enjoying being a midwife, helping us to give birth to a new existence, because I believe sitting in these seats, man, God, every time I say this, I feel it in my bones, that I feel like I'm standing before a group of people who are ready to blow the roof off of these ideas we've held so dear. We're ready to move beyond belief and into the world of knowing. I feel that so much. If I didn't feel that in my bones, I'd just leave. I'd go find a mountain somewhere and just sit there and all the time, because believe me, the majority of the time, that's what I would like to do, but I feel like I'm here with you on purpose, because I really do believe something is stirring in your very being. There's a vibration, there's a frequency that's wanting to burst out of this place, that's wanting to move us into the next level, that's asking us to step into our health and into our new reality. It's asking us to expand our consciousness. Man, I think if Jesus was here, he would amen us. I really do. And he would amen us, yeah. So this divine feminine is everywhere. It's found in nature. It's found in plants. It's found in animals. It's found in people. It's a part of both men and women. Hey, guys, let me hear you. That's the best roar I've heard in a long time. Cat got your tongue? Dudes, let me hear you. She's in there. And she's awesome. I'm talking about the she side of you, not your wife. or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. No, she's in there. And she's waiting for you to allow that feminine side of you to be explored and to move into full function in your life. Man, when that happens, good God Almighty. When you allow that flow, I'm telling you, changed my life. Changed my life. The divine feminine is powerful. Somebody say amen to that. Amen. The divine feminine is extravagant, heart-based, and mesmerizing. You know, women have been associated with years with being seductive. The ability to seduce. There is a magic. Oh, it's magic. It is. And I admire it. Because I remember many times where I was in the midst of really making some good points. And Carrie decides she's going to shift the whole climate. And I just went. I didn't even know where we were going. It didn't matter. My point didn't need a point anymore. She had this ability to, she still does, to allure me into whatever it is. I've just got to the place now where she says, she'll send me a text and she'll say, so I've been thinking. And I'll say, okay, what were you thinking about? She said, well, what do you think about this, this, or this? And I said, you know what I'm going to say every single time. Whatever you want, let's do it. We have this saying where I say, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is ours. It's sort of a, I'm going to use Taoist language here. Divine feminine power is a sort of a passive force. It lures. And it draws in blessings. Not through pursuing, but through attracting, through manifesting, through working directly with universal law. If you want to be on the right side of the law, get into that divine feminine. Move it in that place. Because the key to manifesting is allowing the divine feminine to emerge from the womb of your soul. Start owning that feminine power. Start moving in that. The key to attracting blessings and manifesting what we desire is by working together with that divine self. It's an absolute necessary part of our universe. And you have that within you. You are powerful. You are great. You are amazing. Let that divine feminine flow forward. I just want you to know, all of you women in the house, that I celebrate you and I admire you and what you have endured. Oh my God. If I can just have an ounce of your ability to carry what you've carried, I will be such a blessed man. And I just want you to know I watch you as you carry it, and I honor you, and I'll hold you in high regard. And I'm so grateful for you. If you look around this room, men, you'll notice this. You'll notice that men are outnumbered. Because women, I believe women are shifting the consciousness of this planet and have carried spiritual community for decades and for generations and for millennia. Yeah. Have made it happen, and you've shown up. This is, listen, guys, I'm not reducing your value, but I'm saying if we will step up and recognize that this nature dwells within us and watch how it comes out of these wonderful carriers of divine feminine. If we'll watch and we'll allow ourselves to learn, we will figure out within ourselves how to do what they do best with that power within them that literally causes creation to come to be. No one is in this room that did not pass through the womb of a woman. Did you hear what I just said? And no animal species is on this planet that did not pass through the womb. Whoa, man. And that same power that nurtured you while you were growing your nose. Not worried about it, mind you. Nobody was in there with a mirror. When you were growing your nose and your ears and your eyes, that divine feminine was what was incubating you and giving you the ability to grow. Think on that. And if you let that rise up within you, there's nothing you can't create. You can pull out of the atmosphere of eternity, bring the unseeable, the invisible, into the visible. Once you connect and allow the pure, free flow of your divine feminine. Take just a moment, if you would. Maybe gently close your eyes. Put your hand right here in the solar plexus area, just above the navel. Receive a deep breath. And release. I allow. I release. And I give permission to the divine feminine within me to rise up in strength and power. I know that through my life will be birthed forth a mighty, mighty manifestation of pure presence. And I am attracting that into my life right now. I'm luring the blessings into my life right now. I don't have to advertise. I don't have to work for it or try to push to make it happen. I invite it. I allow it to come. That's my divine feminine. Drawing it in. The gravitational pull. Along with the work of universal law, I'm bringing in all of the blessings. Healing, health, well-being into my life. And so it is. And so it is. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, that feminine sure looks good on you. That feminine sure looks good on you. Dude, looks like a lady. Oh, no. There's a song and everything. This is so fun. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I love hanging out with you. Look, I actually in the afternoons on Sundays, this is true, Sharon, this happens to me. I'm sitting at home and I have this little tinge of depression because I got to wait until the whole next week. You're too emotional to lead. I love being with you. I just want you to know that. You're the loves of my life. This is the love of my life. I love being with you. Okay. All right. I was getting all mushy. And I don't apologize for it. I used to apologize. I don't apologize for it. I want you to know that there's opportunities for you to give. I'm going to ask our ushers if they will to come. And want to say I appreciate you investing in this community. If this is a place that you feel like your spiritual food is provided, consider making that exchange for the spiritual food and investing in your own life. We have some really wonderful rumblings taking place. Look, y'all, we're growing and we're going and we're flowing. And I love the direction we're going in because it's all love. It's all love. You can ask the staff, you can ask the board, you can ask what they hear from me more than anything else, probably the single most recognizable text from me is it's all love. So what I say, I just about sign off with everything. It's all love. And I want to say thank you for those of you who continue to give. You can go to our First Unity app, and you can give on the app. You can tap to give. Tap on that yellow heart. Will you go back to the number? I didn't get the number just a moment ago. I want to make sure. Oh, there it is. 727-800-3493. That's a text to give number. The QR code that's on the screen now, if you scan that code, it should take you to the giving site. Also, that's on the offering plates as well as they're coming around to you. Those who are online, thank you for considering giving. You can also mail in a check if you'd like to, or a money order, however you want to do that. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for supporting this community. All right, I'm going to ask our ushers, if they will, now to go and receive the offerings. After we do the abundance prayer, everyone together, the abundance of God is my infinite source. I now open my mind and my heart to give and to receive all God's good, all God's prosperity, all God's abundance. God is my source. All things are possible, and so it is. And welcome back to First Unity Voices. Love you, man.
Unfailing love, stronger than mountains, deeper than oceans, and it reaches to me. Unfailing love, unfailing love, stronger than mountains, stronger than mountains, deeper than ocean, and it reaches to me. In the fullness, in the fullness of your grace, by the power generated in this place, oh, you lift me up.
If you know it, come on and sing it with us.
You raise me up so I can stand on mine.
Divine feminine, you raise me up.
You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up.
You raise me up.
You raise me up.
One more time.
You raise me up to more than I can
Happy Sunday, First Unity family. Carrie Bell Scott here, and this is your campus news. Support our Artist of the Month, Brad Griffin, whose works are displayed and for sale in the hallway. A Course in Miracles discussion group is every Tuesday at 7 p.m. in Lagatuda Hall. Heart Opening Yoga will be Tuesday, March 21st at 6 p.m. under the Purple Tent. Register online. Wellness Wednesdays is every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. with Naomi Walker and other guest instructors. From Zumba to yoga, Pilates, and more, we are committed to helping our community be well. Meditations have resumed in the sanctuary on Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. The chapel will continue to host the noon meditations. Soul Sisters Women's Discussion Group is every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. in room 300 with myself, Carrie Bell Scott, and Leah Taylor. Register online or at the box office. Self-Transformation Workshop with Donna Angelo is every Monday evening in March from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in Lagatuda Hall. Register on the website or at the box office. Spring Equinox Celebration is Monday, March 20th at 6 p.m. under the Purple Tent. Our Oneness service will be on March 29th instead of the evening meditation at 6 p.m. in the sanctuary. Please check our Lost and Found in the office after service today if you have left anything behind during the past services.
Hey everybody, the voice you're used to hearing and the face you're used to seeing is not mine. Not for the announcements, but I wanted to make this special announcement because the movie that we're showing on Good Friday, that's Friday the weekend of Easter, is about my personal friend and spiritual mentor, Bishop Carlton Pearson. This is a movie about his life and what he experienced in his unfolding into a higher level of consciousness, and that will be hosted in our main sanctuary. It's only $10 per person, and that will include some popcorn. You gotta have popcorn with the movie, and it'll also include a bottle of water.
An Evening of Spirit with James Van Prague will be on April 19th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the sanctuary. Purchase tickets online or at the box office. Friday Night Jam Cafe is back with a huge event. An interfaith cultural experience and musical concert will be April 21st at 6 p.m. in the sanctuary. Tickets are $30 per person and include light refreshments. Be sure to BYOB. Purchase your tickets online at firstunityevents.org or at the box office. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. For more information on all of our events, visit firstunity.org. Have a wonderful day.
We want to announce also next Sunday at 1:30 p.m. right after service, we will be honoring the mother of Temple Hayes, Mrs. Connie Hayes. Her homegoing and celebration will be here in the sanctuary, 1:30 next Sunday. Yes? Yes. Here we grow. Come on, we going home. our unity prayer? Here we go. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The presence of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have yourself a marvelous week because you can. All right. Woo-hoo.
Like a sack of a whip, I snap attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Dig it like a shovel, rhymes double on a heavily level. Bang the bass, turn up the treble. Radical mind, day and night, all the time. 714 lines, divine. Maniac, brainiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James. Quality, I possess some, say I'm fresh when my voice goes through the mesh of the microphone that I am holding. Copywritten lyrics so they can't be stolen if they all snap. Don't need the police to try to save them, your voice will see. So please, stay off my back or I will attack, and you don't want that. It's getting kinda hectic. It's getting kinda hectic.